Uh, in last class, what we have done is we have formulated the entire problem by assembling element stiffness matrices, element restraint force matrices, and element nodal force matrices. Uh, what is the outcome? Outcome is we know all the nodal displacements that we took as unknowns. So we had solved for that. Let us look at the values. So U4, U5, U6, U7, U8, U9. These are the global displacements that were treated as unknowns, and we have found out its value. What is the next step? So in next step, if you look at this partition stiffness matrix, if we expand the first row, let us try to expand first row here. Give me a second. So if I expand first row, what I am going to get is K11 multiplied by U1. But U1 is 0. So therefore K11 into U1 is going to become 0. Then K12 into U3. We know U3 is 0 because these are the global displacements at fixed support. So they are 0. Then K13 multiplied by U4. We have already found out the value of U4. We have already found out the value of U4, U5, U6, U7, U8 and U9. So therefore K13 into U4, K14 into U5 plus K15 into U6 plus K16 into U7 plus K17 multiplied by U8 plus K18 multiplied by U8. All these products are known. We know the stiffness coefficients. We also know the displacements U4, U5, U6, U7, U8 and U9. Then K19 into U10 and K110 into U12. These are going to become 0 because those are again support displacements. But as the support is fixed supports, we are not going to have this displacement. U10 is equal to 0 and U12 equal to 0. This plus 0 is equal to plus HA. So therefore, we are in a position to find out the value of HA. Are you with me? So let me ask someone to unmute. Madhav, can you unmute? No response in chat box, no response on microphone. I will assume the student is not present. I will put him in the lobby. So Madhav, are you there? Okay, you have a microphone issue. Okay, you can answer it in chat. Have you understood what I said? How do we get the value of HA? By expanding the first row, we know U4 to U9 because we have calculated those displacements here. So U4 to U9 are known quantities. And K13 to K18, these are the known stiffness coefficients. So if you expand this, you will be in a position to find out HA. Similarly, if you expand the second row, then you will, knowing the value of U4 to U9 and knowing that U1, U3 and U10 and U12 are 0, you will be in a position to find out the value of MA. Similarly, if you expand the 11th and if you expand the 9th and 10th row of this matrix, then you will be able to get the value of HD and MB. So not only have we got the values of U4 to U9, which are displacements, but we have also got the values of reaction using a finite element formulation. So in finite element formulation, we get unknown reactions as well as unknown displacements. Both support reactions as well as unknown displacement. Both can be obtained. Now, what we are going to do is a quick exercise where we are going to solve the same problem using traditional stiffness matrix method. So we are going to employ traditional stiffness matrix method and we are going to solve the same problem. We are going to cross verify whether we are going to get the same values of displacements or not. So that gives us the confidence in finite element formulation that we have done. So let us quickly do that. So I'm going to solve the problem by traditional way. Not by FEM formulation. So in traditional way, what is the first step that we do? We find out, and now I'm going to go very fast because we have already done this in structural analysis during your undergraduate course. So there is no necessity to be slow here. So let us go ahead. So first thing that we find out is degree of kinematic indeterminacy for such structure. Degree of kinematic indeterminacy is the list of all degrees of freedom that are possible at joints. What is a joint? Joint is either a support, a free end, location where there is a change of EI, or location where there are more than one members meeting. So all these qualify as joints. Now let us write down degree of kinematic indeterminacy. Step number 1. So at joint A, degree of kinematic indeterminacy is 0 because this, as it is a fixed support, it cannot rotate, it cannot translate. Therefore, uh, there is no degree of freedom at joint A. Let us look at joint B. What is degree of freedom at joint B? So at joint B we have two degrees of freedom. One is theta B, and second one is delta in this direction. So we are going to write down this as theta B and delta. What is the degree of freedom at joint C? We have theta C and delta. Delta of B and delta of C has to be equal so that there is no extension of member BC. BC member extend now हो, इसलिए delta B and delta C has to be equal. So we say that all the members are actually inextensible. That is the first assumption with which we have solved all such class of problems in structural analysis. So theta B, delta and theta C. At joint D, there is no degree of freedom because it is a fixed support. So therefore, we have dk or degree of kinematic indeterminacy as 3. And what are the degrees? Those are elaborated in this bracket: theta b, delta and theta c. What do we do next? So next what we do is we are doing it by traditional way. So we draw something called as restrained structure. So let me write down that restrained structure. So in restrained structure, we restrain everything that is listed under degree of kinematic indeterminacy. So in kinematic indeterminacy, we have listed theta b, delta, and theta c. So you have to restrain that. So to restrain theta b and delta at B, I will have to make this support as fixed support. So how does a restrained structure look like? Fixed support. And for BC as well, I have to also restrain degrees of freedom at C. So at C, we have two degrees of freedom, theta C and delta. So where does theta B occur? Theta B occurs at B. Where does theta C occur? Theta C occurs at C. Where does delta occurs? Delta occur? Delta occurs at B, it occurs at C, as well as it occurs for all the points that lie on beam BC. Now, in restraint structure, I am restraining everything that is restrained under degree of kinematic indeterminacy. So this is a restrained structure A, B, C. Don't get overwhelmed by the speed because I know this you have already done this in structural analysis. So we need to go fast here. There is no choice. And then in restraint structure, we show only member loads. So you can see there is no member load on member AB. There is no member load on member CD. There is a member load on member BC that is shown here. It is a UDL of 10 kilonewton per meter. What is the length of each of these members? So the first, as you can see, to arrive at this final solution, what we have assumed is EI1 and EI2 are equal. So therefore, in this problem, I will start with that assumption. EI is same throughout. So therefore, here we have a beam of flexural rigidity EI and length 3 meter. So we have a column with flexural rigidity EI and length 3 meters. Similarly, column CD is a column with flexural rigidity EI and length 3 meters. However, beam BC is a beam with flexural rigidity EI but length 4 meters. So once we are done with this in restrained structure with all the member loads, we are going to find out the reactions. Question: why we did not show 10 kilonewton? Answer: because 10 kilonewton is not a member load, it is a joint load. Joint load will be taken care separately in the nodal force matrix in this framework. Therefore, that has not been considered. So we have shown only member loads. Now quickly, what are the various reactions that we can have here? So all the reactions for beam AB and beam CD are going to be zero. Column AB and column CD are going to be zero because there is no member load here. In restrained structure, the reactions are therefore going to be zero. What about beam BC? In beam BC, we are going to have reactions like vertical reaction at both the supports B and C. Look at the support symmetry, EI symmetry, that is material and geometric symmetry, and look at the loading symmetry. Owing to that, each reaction is going to be half. So therefore, length of this beam is 4, 10 into 4, 40. So these reactions are going to be 20 and 20. Okay, Swapnil, can you unmute yourself? It feels like I am speaking to myself, so better to have someone. Swapnil?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So are you with me till this point?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let us go ahead. Now, what will be the moment reactions at ends B and C of this beam BC in restrained structure? So let us try to find out that. So this is B and this is C. So what are the moment reactions? First of all, their senses. We know that for downward loading, the moments are going to be hogging in nature. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes. And what is its magnitude? WL square by 12.
WL square by.
Right. So we know that when beam has a fixed end, beam is fixed beam and loaded by UDL over the entire length, the fixed end moments are WL square by 12. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it is 10 multiplied by 4 square by 12. Can you tell me how much is that? 10 into 4 square by 12. Hmm. Yes, Swapnil. Is it 13.33? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 13.33
Yes. Okay. So this is 13.333 kilonewton meter.
per meter.
Be careful about
Per
the,
meter.
no, not per meter, it is moment.
No, sir. Meter. Kilonewton meter.
Kilonewton meter. So be careful about the moment. Be careful about the unit. जिस यूनिट में काम कर रहे हो उसी यूनिट में कंटिन्यूअसली करना है एंड तक. Are you with me?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So now, what is the outcome of doing all this? What is the outcome of finding out reactions in restrained structure? So we write something called as restrained force matrix by looking at these reactions. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So in the restrained force matrix, how many elements will be there? जितने degree of kinematic indeterminacy है, उतने elements रहेंगे. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So therefore, now let us number this degree of freedom, these degrees of freedom. So I will number theta b as 1, theta c as 2, and delta as 3. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Rotational degrees of freedom 1, 2, theta b, theta c. Translational degree of freedom delta is numbered as 3. Happy?
Yes, sir.
So now this FR matrix is going to have 3 elements, one corresponding to first degree of freedom, second degree of freedom, and third degree of freedom. Happy?
Yes, sir.
What is the first degree of freedom? Theta b. Where does it occur? It occurs at B. What kind of degree of freedom it is? It is rotational degree of freedom.
Rotation.
So rotational degree of freedom is associated with what? Force or a moment? Tell me.
Movements.
Moment. So what should we be looking at? We should be looking at moment reaction at B. Are you with
Yes, sir.
me? So what is moment reaction at B? Tell me. It is 13.333
0.33
kilonewton meter. Is it clockwise or
kilometer.
anti-clockwise?
Sir, anti-clockwise.
So what is our sign convention? So whenever we write down degree of kinematic indeterminacy, it is better to explicitly mention sign convention there itself. So anti-clockwise movements positive. So this is our sign convention. Happy? Then
Yes.
delta towards right positive is our sign convention for delta. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
And again, anti-clockwise movement positive is the sign convention for theta c. Happy?
Yes.
So what should I write? Should I write plus 13.333 or minus 13.3?
Sir, plus 13.3.
Yes, because it is anti-clockwise. Great. So 13.333. Happy? Now, what is the
Yes.
second degree of freedom? Just have a look at second degree of freedom.
Delta. Sorry, theta
Oh,
c.
theta c. So theta c is what? It is rotational degree of freedom. Where does it occur? It occurs at c.
At c.
What is the corresponding reaction? Is it a force or moment?
Moment, sir.
Moment, because rotation is associated with moment. So what should I be looking for? I should be looking for moment reaction
Moment,
at
moment
C
reaction.
in restrained structure. So mind you, this C occurs at two places. It occurs as a part of beam BC and it also occurs as a part of column CD. Do you agree with me?
CD. Yes, sir.
जो कि CD कॉलम पे कुछ लोड नहीं है, इसलिए यहाँ पे कोई रिएक्शन मोमेंट रिएक्शन नहीं आया है. अगर आता तो हम इन दोनों मोमेंट रिएक्शंस का अल्जेब्रिक सम, दैट मींस विद साइन सम ले लेते. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
And that would have been reported as the second element of restrained force matrix. Though we call it as restrained force matrix, it is in fact a restrained action matrix. Its elements can either be force or moments. Are you with me?
Yes.
Okay. So with this understanding now, this is 13.333. Is it clockwise or anti-clockwise?
So clockwise.
So with our sign convention, what should I write?
Sir, negate minus 13.
Right. So minus 13.33. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what is third degree of freedom? Tell me quickly.
Delta.
Third degree of freedom is delta. Are you with me?
Yes,
That
sir.
delta is in which direction? Is it in x direction or is it in y direction?
Sir, x direction.
X direction. So now tell me, x directional delta is a consequence of force or moment?
Force, sir.
Force. Force in which direction? X
In
direction.
rightward direction. Yes, sir.
In x direction.
Rightward.
Obviously, y directional and z directional forces cannot cause delta in x direction. Therefore, what should we be looking for in restraint structure? By the way, where does delta occur? Where does it occur?
Sir, at B and C.
Yes, it occurs at B and C as well as all the points between B and C. It occurs at infinite locations. However, in restraint structures, support are provided only at B and C. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So what should we be looking for? We should be looking for horizontal force reaction at B and C. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Is there any horizontal force reaction at B and C?
Yes, sir.
Which one? Follow.
No, sir. No. Horizontal.
No horizontal force. So even though we have vertical force reaction here, that has not to be that should not be considered. We are going to consider only horizontal force reaction at B and C. That is absent. So should I treat this as zero? Absolutely.
Yes.
Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
When will this element be non-zero? When the column is loaded transversely. When column is loaded transversely, at that time you are going to get horizontal reaction at B end of the column or at C end of the column CD. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
So only in that case you are going to have horizontal reaction. But here we don't have horizontal reaction at B and C in restraint structure, both uh, in beam BC and in columns BA and CD. Therefore, this element is nil or zero in this matrix. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is the first step that we do in stiffness matrix method. What is the next step that we do in stiffness matrix method? We develop a stiffness matrix. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So next step is development of stiffness matrix. And unlike the earlier case where we developed the stiffness matrix for elements and then we assembled it into global stiffness matrix, here we are going to directly develop the stiffness matrix based on global degrees of freedom that are listed under degree of kinematic indeterminacy. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what do you do? What do we exactly do in this? So in this, what we do is we successively go on making everything listed under degree of kinematic indeterminacy as unity. For example, here theta b, theta c, and delta is degree of kinematic indeterminacy. The first step I'm going to do is I'm going to make theta b equal to 1. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to draw. And where do I make it 1? In restraint structure. So in restraint structure, I make theta b equal to 1. Happy?
Yes, sir.
So how does it look like? So this is B. B is a part of column as well as it is a part of beam BC. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So when I say theta b equal to 1, I have to ensure that theta b is 1 for both column as well as beam. Column BA as well as column BC. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So let me do that. So theta b equal to 1 plus 1 लिखा है. So anti-clockwise rotation. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So this is the anti-clockwise rotation and this is the tangent drawn. This is 1. Theta b equal to 1. Happy? How does the deformed shape then looks like? Deformed shape looks something like this. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Similarly, at B, I will have to make theta b equal to 1. So this is the tangent. Anti-clockwise है. Ensure करना कि anti-clockwise ही दिखा रहे हो. देखो, this is anti-clockwise rotation. Are you with me?
सर कॉलम बीए में अपन ने जो क्लॉकवाइज दिखाया.
Yeah. Sorry. So let us show it anti-clockwise. This is how it is.
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is the deformed shape. Just a minute, I need to take this call. Hello? Huh? Yeah, who is speaking? Oh, ये तो कौन बोलते हैं? Okay. Now at B, for beam BC as well, I will have to show the anti-clockwise rotation. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So how do I do that? So for that, this is anti-clockwise rotation. Let me draw the deformed shape. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now this is theta b equal to 1. Now to have theta b equal to 1, you will have to apply anti-clockwise moment here. To have theta b equal to 1, you will also have to apply anti-clockwise moment here. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
How much is this anti-clockwise moment? Look at the far end. Far end is fixed. So this has to be 4 EI by L. What is EI of column? EI itself. What is length of column? 3. So this moment has to be 4 EI by 3. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Now in beam, look at the far end. It is fixed. So therefore this has to be 4 EI of
4
beam,
EI
same
by.
as EI of column, but 4 EI by 4 because length is 4. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir. Yes,
3,
sir.
4, 3. These are the lengths and EI is constant. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Now, what is the consequence of applying this kind of moment here? The consequence is at other end, half of the moment is carried over. In moment distribution method, you must have learned carryover factor. So carryover
Yes, sir.
factor is half when far end is fixed. So therefore, this is 2 EI by 3 of the same nature. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Here also it will be 2 EI by 4. half. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
And now look at this column BA. Both these moments are clockwise in nature. So reactions must produce anti-clockwise moment. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So reactions must produce anti-clockwise movement. Matlab reactions must be in this sense here. Then only they will be able to produce anti-clockwise movement. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
How much anti-clockwise movement should they produce? They should produce anti-clockwise movement equal to 4EI by 3 plus 2EI by 3. Happy?
Yes.
So that is 6EI by 3. So they must produce moment of 6EI by 3. These two are equal and opposite forces separated by distance 3. So they must be 6EI by 3 square. देखो 6EI by 3 square अगर मैं दोनों फोर्सेस कर देता हूँ 6EI by 3 square then and then only उनके वजह से तैयार होने वाला मूवमेंट एंटी क्लॉकवाइज 6EI by 3 होगा. देखो 6EI by 3 square multiplied by 3 will be 6EI by 3. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So therefore reactions कितने होने चाहिए? तो 6EI by 3 जो मोमेंट है उसका सम लिया दोनों फिक्स्ड एंड मोमेंट्स का, सॉरी दोनों एंड मोमेंट्स का सम लेना है और उसको एक बार लेंथ से और डिवाइड करना है. So 6EI by 3 square. Are you with me? So
Yes, sir.
did you get how did I get the magnitudes of these reactions?
Yes, sir.
Did you get how did I get the sense of these reactions? Because the acting moments are means the reactionary moments are anti-clockwise. So the force के वजह से आने वाले moments clockwise होने चाहिए. I think we have missed it. It must be clockwise. तो clockwise अगर होना है तो sense कैसे होना चाहिए? ऐसे होना चाहिए. Happy?
Yes.
Okay. Same trick we are going to apply here. So what is the trick? What is the total moment? 4EI by 4 plus 2EI by 4. तो कितना हुआ? 6EI by 4.
6 EI.
That is anti-clockwise. तो clockwise moment अगर produce करना है तो reactions कैसे होने चाहिए? Reactions must be of this nature. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
And what is the value of reaction? एक बार length से और divide करना है. So it is going to be 6EI by 4 square.
Yeah.
6EI by 4 square.
4 square. Yes, sir.
अब इससे हम कौन से कोएफिशिएंट्स लिखने वाले हैं? तो इससे हम स्टिफनेस मैट्रिक्स की फर्स्ट रो लिखने वाले हैं. So let us write K11. What is K11? Action that is required to be produced at 1 to have unit displacement at 1. Now carefully look at what is 1. 1 is theta b. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
1 is theta b. So action कौन सी होनी चाहिए? Movement. कहाँ पे होने चाहिए? B के यहाँ पे. So what is the moment that needs to be produced at B in order to have theta b equal to 1? It is 4EI by 3 anti-clockwise plus 4EI by 4 anti-clockwise. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So I will write it as 4EI by 3 plus 4EI by 4. Happy?
Yes.
Great. Now, what is K21? Sorry, K12. No, K21. We will write down first column. So K21, action that gets produced at 2 due to unit displacement at 1. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
What is 1? 1 is theta b. So due to unit theta b, what is 2? 2 is theta c. So I should be looking for moment reaction that gets produced at C due to unit displacement at 1. Are you with me?
Sir.
Why should we look for moment reaction? Because 2, that is theta c, is rotation. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So what is that reaction? 2EI by 4
EI by 4.
and it is positive. So I am going to write it as 2EI by 4. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Now let us look at K31. What is K31? Tell me. It is action that gets produced at 3 due to unit displacement at 1. So theta b 1 होने के वजह से 3 के जगह पे मतलब डेल्टा के जगह पे प्रोड्यूस होने वाली एक्शन is K31. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Now, what is 3? 3 is translation or rotation?
Translation.
In which direction?
X direction.
So what should we be looking for? In this diagram, we should be looking for x directional reactions at B and C because delta occurs at B and C. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So x directional reactions at B and C. At C, there is no x directional reaction. Do you agree with me? A vertical reaction है. There is no x
Yes, sir.
directional reaction. Happy? Y directional reaction तो है, लेकिन x directional कुछ नहीं है. लेकिन at B, when you look at column BA, there is a horizontal reaction.
Yes, sir.
And how much is that? 6 EI upon
6 EI by 3 square.
and with our sign convention towards right is positive. So I am going to write it as 6 EI upon 3 square. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now that's all. There is no 4. There are only 3 degrees of kinematic indeterminacy. So this is done. Now we will go to the next thing and we will make theta B equal to 1, theta C equal to 1 because that is the second degree of freedom. Are you with me?
Yes.
So when I make theta C equal to 1, how does this diagram look like? We are showing now restraint structure without member load, without nodal force load. Only we are going to make degrees of kinematic indeterminacy successively 1. Are you with me?
Yes.
So when I make theta C equal to 1, anti-clockwise rotation, मतलब कैसे दिखना चाहिए? ऐसे दिखना चाहिए.
Yes.
How does the deformed shape look like? Something like this. Anti-clockwise rotation कैसे दिखना चाहिए? ऐसे दिखना चाहिए. So how does the deformed shape look like? ऐसे दिखेगा. To have
Yes.
this anti-clockwise rotation, I will have to provide a anti-clockwise moment here. I will have to provide an anti-clockwise moment here. How much are these moments? So this is 3 meter, this is 4 meter, this is 3 meter. So this far end is fixed. This must be 4 EI by 3.
Yes.
This far end is fixed. This must be 4 EI by 4.
EI by 4.
Agreed?
Yes, sir.
Consequence of these moments. Half of the moment is carried out to other end with the same sense. So this is 2 EI by 3.
2 EI by 3.
Consequence of this 4 EI by 4. Half of the moment is carried over to other end with the same sign, that is 2 EI by 4.
2 4.
Happy? Now,
Yes, sir.
let us find out reaction. If you look at column CD, the total moment is 6 EI by 3. Anti-clockwise reactions must produce clockwise movement as they are supposed to produce clockwise movement. This has to be the sense of reactions and each
Yes.
reaction has to be 4 EI by 3 और एक बार लेंथ से डिवाइड करना है. So it is 4 EI by 3 square.
Sir, 6 आना चाहिए ना?
I'm
4
sorry.
plus 2.
Yes, you're right. 6 EI by 3 square. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
This is 6 EI by 3 square. Similar thing we are going to do for column, for beam. So for beam, the summation of both the moments is 6 EI upon
6
4.
EI.
Therefore, and these are anti-clockwise moments, so therefore reactions must produce clockwise moment. If the reaction has to produce clockwise moment, these reactions must be in this fashion. They must be 6 EI upon 4 square. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
6 EI upon 4 square.
4 square.
Now from this, the first thing that we're going to write down is K12. Are you with K12?
Sir,
Huh?
K21 na?
No, K21 is over. Dekho.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So we are going to write down K12, but K12 has to be same as K21. So we will not write that. So we will start with K22. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So what is K22? K22 is action that is required to be produced at 2 to have unit deformation at 2. What is 2? 2 is theta C. So which action
C.
we are looking for? We are looking for moment. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So moment required to be produced at 2, that is at C, to have unit deformation at 2, that is to have theta C equal to 1. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So कितना है moment? 4 EI by 4,
4 EI by 3.
EI by 3. 4 EI by 4 plus 4 EI by 3. Happy?
Yes, sir.
What is K 3, 2 now. Action that gets produced at 3 due to unit deformation at 2. What is 3? 3 is
Sir, translation
in X
delta.
direction.
Yes, sir.
So we should be looking for which reaction? We should be looking for force reaction in X direction. Where? At B or at C?
At C.
So at B there is no force reaction in X direction. But at C there is a force reaction in X direction, and that is 6 Ci upon 3 square.
Yes, sir.
Do you agree with me? So this is 6 EI upon 3 square.
3.
What is K33? Action that is required. No, sorry. This is done because there is no 4. So K22, K32 is done. There is no K42. So therefore now we are going to make delta equal to 1 because delta is 3. Are you with me?
Yes.
So in the restrained structure, I am going to make delta equal to 1. So क्या करना पड़ेगा? This moves towards right by unity. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
This is going to be the deform shape. This moves towards right by unity. So this is ought to be the deform shape. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
This end moves towards right by unity, and this end also moves towards right by end unity. So this beam is shifted as it is here. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So there are not going to be any reactions for the beam because the beam is shifted as a rigid body. Are you with me? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So there are going to be reactions at the columns. So how are these reactions going to? To shift this end towards right, I will have to apply horizontal force towards right. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
To shift this end towards, as this force is towards right, as a reaction, this force is going to be towards left. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Now, this pair of forces produces clockwise movement. Therefore, the moments here must be anti-clockwise. Agreed?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Similarly, to move this end towards right, I will have to apply force towards right. Consequence, reactionary force towards left. This pair produces clockwise movement.
Clockwise.
Consequence, the moments must be anti-clockwise.
Yes, sir.
Are you with me? Chalo.
Yes,
So
sir.
what are these moments? We already know these are 6 Ci delta upon L square, but delta is 1. So these are going to be 6 Ci upon 3 square. Do you agree with me? Whenever you want to have delta here, the moment that gets produced here is 6 Ci delta upon L square. Delta is 1. So therefore it is 6 Ci upon 3 square. Happy?
Yes, sir.
This is also 6 Ci upon 3 square. These are the basic results that you have done in structural analysis 1. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So this is also 6 Ci upon 3 square. Because Ei is same for both the columns, length is also same for the columns. So it is 6 Ci upon 3 square. Consequence. What will be this reaction? What is the sum of these two moments? 6 Ei upon 3 square plus 6 Ei upon 3 square, that is 12 Ei upon 3
12
square.
upon.
उसको एक बार लेंथ से और डिवाइड करो, so it is going to be 12 Ei upon L cube. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So 12 Ei upon 3 cube. So this is also 12 Ei upon 3 cube. Happy? What about this? These are also 12 Ei upon 3 cube.
Thank you.
Happy? Chalo, quickly. Now, what is K13? K13 has, sorry, what is K13? K31 has already been calculated. K13 must be equal to that. Do you agree with me?
So,
What is K23? K32 has already been evaluated here. So K23 must be equal to that. So here we are going to only calculate one thing, and that is K33. Happy?
yes.
So how does K33 look like? Good. K33 is action required to be produced at 3 to have unit deformation at 3. What is 3? 3 is delta in x direction. So what action are we looking for? We are looking for x directional reaction. Where? At B and C. So at B, what is x directional reaction? 12 EI by 3Q.
Yeah,
At
by
C, what is the x directional reaction? 12 EI by 3Q. So
yeah,
is
by
it 24 EI by 3Q? Are you with me?
yes.
So now stiffness matrix is ready. We have restraint force matrix ready. Now we are going to look at, let me first write down the stiffness matrix. So how does the stiffness matrix look like? So we have here theta B, theta C, and delta. Similarly here theta B, theta C, and delta. Are you with me?
Yes.
चलो बताओ कैसे दिखता है स्टिफनेस मैट्रिक्स. What is K11? 4/3 plus 4/4. So it is 2.333. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So it is 2.333. EI sits outside because EI is common to each of the elements. Now what is K21? 2/4
By
is 0.5.
0.5. Yes.
21. What is K31? Tell me. 6/3 square. So can you tell me how much is 6/9?
And 9.
Sorry. 6/9 कितना है?
Sir, 0.67.
0.675 is it?
Yes, sir.
675 है ना?
6. Yes, sir. 675.
Yes. So that is, now can you tell me what is K22? It is again 4/4 plus 4/3. That is 2.33. Can you tell me what is K32? It is 6/3 square. So it is 0.675. Happy?
Yes. Yes, sir.
And what is K33? 24/3Q. Tell me how much is 24/3Q? That is
Sir,
24 by
2.67.
2 point.
67.
कुछ तो गड़बड़ की. 24/3 cube. 3 3s are 9, 9 3s are 27. 24 upon 27. How can it be 2.67?
Sir, 0.89.
0.889.
889.
Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Now let us look at this assembled stiffness matrix. कि ये जो एलिमेंट्स है ना उनकी तरफ ध्यान देते हैं. Are you with me? Or let us do one thing. Let us first write down these matrices. Just give me a second. Delta इसमें कौन सा था? U8 या U6 या U7? What was it? Just a second. U7 and U4 were delta, right? U7 and U4 were deltas. Okay. So I feel there is some error in this solution because U7 has to be equal to U4 in earlier case. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
क्या गड़बड़ है देखते हैं. U7 and U4, they are ought to be equal. Okay, we will check that out in a while. First of all, let us complete this. जो हम कर रहे हैं वो complete करते हैं. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So then, what are the remaining elements of K matrix? So this is going to be 0.5. This is going to be 0.675. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And this element is also going to be 0.675. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Theta B, theta C, and delta. These elements are found out. Now we are going to find out something called as nodal force matrix. So what is nodal force matrix? It again is going to have three elements, one corresponding to theta B, one corresponding to theta C, and one corresponding to delta. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So corresponding to theta B, look at the original structure. Is there any moment at B? No. Corresponding to theta C, is there any concentrated moment at C? No. Look at now delta. Corresponding to delta, is there any concentrated force at a joint? Yes, it is 10
Yes,
kN. Are you with me?
yes, sir.
So therefore, it is 0, 0, and plus 10. And now let us write down the equilibrium equation. What is equilibrium equation? K times U matrix, that is displacement matrix, must be equal to plus FR matrix, restrained force matrix, must be equal to nodal force matrix. This is the equation of equilibrium. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Equation of equilibrium. Now, what is K? So let me write down the value. Let me borrow this K here. It is EI times this. So forget about this. Forget about this. EI times this. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
What is U matrix? So U matrix is theta B, theta C, and delta. Theta B, theta C, and delta. Happy?
Yes, sir.
This has to be equal to nodal force matrix. So what is nodal force matrix? Sorry, this plus FR.
Sir,
What is FR matrix? So FR matrix is 13.33 minus 13.330. Do you agree with
0.
me?
Yes, sir.
13.33 minus 13.33 and 0.
0.
This has to be equal to nodal force matrix. So what is the nodal force matrix? Nodal force matrix is 0, 0, 10.
0, 0, 10.
0, 0, 10. So if we solve this, we are going to get the value of theta B, theta C, and delta. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
अब एक check करते हैं. What is theta B, theta C, and delta here? So have a look at these nomenclatures. What is theta B? U6. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Theta B is U6. What is theta C? Tell me. Theta C. Theta C is equal to U9. Do you
9.
agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Achha. What is delta? Delta here is U4 and U7. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
U4 and U7. And we
U7.
have internally said that U4 has to be equal to U7 in doing our traditional formulation. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So now let me bring this back there. X. Let me put it here. This is our correlation. Now we are going to look at the corresponding rows here. So देखो U4, U5, U6, U7, U8 and U9. ऐसे है ना इसमें. इसमें से हमें कौन सी
Yes.
डिग्रीज चाहिए? We need only U6, U9 and
U9,
U4 and U7.
U7.
Are you with me? So I'm going to now write down U6, U9, U4 and U7. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
If I treat this degrees of freedom, I am going to have a 4 by 4 matrix. Are you with me? 4 cross 4 matrix. Happy?
Yes, sir.
U9, U4, and U7. So here also I will have U6, U9, U4, and U7. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
What I'm going to show is we are going to prove the equivalence of above equation with the equation that we have got from finite element map. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
तो U6 ये जरा रोज देखो U6, U9, U4 and U7. तो U6 की रो किधर है? U6 की रो is third one. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
1, 2, 3. So in third row, uh, what is the FR matrix element that we have? 13.33. Do you agree with me?
3, 3.
So
Yes.
यहाँ पे जब मैं FR मैट्रिक्स लिखूंगा इसके आगे तो पहला एलिमेंट क्या आएगा बोलो? 13.33.
13.3.
When I look at U9, U9 is which row here? Last one. तो इसमें एलिमेंट कौन सा है? -13.33. Do you agree with me?
Yes. Yes, sir.
So -13.33. Very good. When I look at U4, U4 is which element? First row. उसमें
Yes, sir.
एलिमेंट क्या है? 0.
0.
And when I look at U7, it is which?
0.
That also is 0. So therefore 0 और 0 ऐसे दो आएंगे कि नहीं? U4 U7 के लिए
Yes, sir.
0 and 0. Correlation देखो U6 is correlated to theta B. हाँ तो उसका एलिमेंट है 13.33. So this is okay. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Correlation देखो U9 का एलिमेंट है -13.33. U9 is theta C. तो this is okay. Happy?
Yes, sir.
लास्ट दो के बारे में अभी नहीं बोलेंगे क्योंकि U4 and U7 together constitute to delta. Happy? Okay. Now this must be equal to. चलो अब यही रोज के अलोंग नोडल फोर्स मैट्रिसेस देखो U6, U9, U4 and U7. U6, U6 के आगे what is the
13.0.
nodal force? 0. U9 के आगे what is the nodal force? 0.
0.
Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. U4 के आगे what is the nodal force?
10.
+10. Do you agree with me?
+10. Yes, sir.
And U7 के आगे what is the nodal force? 0. So that's what I am going to write down. This is equal to 0, 0, 10 and
10. 0.
तो इसमें से 0, 0 तो हो गए. 10 के बारे में अभी कुछ बोलेंगे नहीं because delta constitutes of both U4 and U7. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
चलो अब ये मैट्रिक्स लिखते हैं. तो U6 and U6 corresponding element in that row क्या है बोलो? U6 and U6. U6 is third, so I am looking at K33. Are you with me?
Yes.
K33 क्या है? 4EI1 upon
4
3
EI.
plus 4EI2
Yes, sir.
upon 4. But what is 4EI1 is equal to EI2? So 4 by 3 plus 4 by 4. So is it 2.33? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So can I write here 2.33 which matches with the first element here? ये matching है. Are you with me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
अब जरा देखो. I want to have U9 and U6 का intersection. So I will go back there. I will look at where is U9. U9 and U6. So where is U9? U9 is the last row. So let me also write it here. It is U4, then U5, U6, U7, U8, U9.
7.
U7, U8, U9. What do we want? U9. देखो कौन सा चाहिए हमें इंटरसेक्शन? U9 एंड U6. तो U9 का कॉलम देखना है और U6 मतलब थर्ड रो. So it is 2EI by 4. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
So it is 0.5. Do you agree?
0.5.
EI is sitting outside. EI is sitting outside. So ये तो मिल गया 0.5. Happy? This 0.5 matches with this 0.5. समझ में आ रहा है?
Yes, sir.
ओके चलो अब आगे चलते हैं. U4 and U6 का इंटरसेक्शन हमें चाहिए. What is the intersection of U4 and U6? Here. U4 and U6. U6 is the third row. So U4 and U6. ये वाला एलिमेंट चाहिए. ये वाला एलिमेंट क्या होगा जरा बताओ मुझे. It is the third element of first column. So we have to look at third element of first row. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
ये दोनों सेम रहने वाले. So it is going to be minus 6EI upon 3 square. समझ में आ रहा है?
Yes.
तो ये एलिमेंट क्या आया? माइनस 6 अपॉन 3 स्क्वायर बट माइनस साइन आया. एंड दैट्स द मिस्टेक इन दैट कॉम्पिटिशन. क्योंकि 6 अपॉन 9 कितना आता है? 0.675. तो यहाँ पे तो माइनस 0.675 आ रहा है. आर यू विथ मी? लेकिन यहाँ पे प्लस 0.675 है. आर यू विथ मी?
Yes, sir.
एक अभी जैसा है वैसे लिखते हैं. We will mark it with red line. Let us check what is the mistake later. Now 7 and 6. So U7 and 6. U7 and U6, that is third row. So U7, U6, it is 0. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
तो यहाँ पे तो 0 आया. So let us now check what has gone wrong here while assembling the matrix. Why this is minus 6EI upon 3 square? तो कहाँ से असेंबल किया हमने? असेंबली में गड़बड़ है. असेंबली का कहा? ये तो प्लस ही है. 6
Yes, sir.
लिखते वक्त गड़बड़ की है क्या? कौन सा? अच्छा हमें किसका इंटरसेक्शन चाहिए? एक मिनट यार. सो लेट मी चेक. वी वांट U6 एंड U4. U6 एंड U4. जरा देखो इसका इंटरसेक्शन इसमें. U6 एंड U4. वेयर इज U4? 1 2 3 4. ये 1 4 एंड U6. ये तो प्लस है. आर यू विद मी?
हाँ,
हाँ तो इसका मतलब है हमने यही गड़बड़ कर दी. लिखने में गड़बड़ कर दी. ये माइनस है ही नहीं, है प्लस है. आर यू विद मी?
yes,
So therefore these answers are also not correct. We will correct that later. But let us first find out what are the mistakes. So ये plus आएगा. Are you with me?
yes, sir.
So therefore this is going to be plus
Plus.
0.67. Fine. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
ना. लेकिन इसका मैचिंग डायरेक्टली नहीं करेंगे हम 0.675 के साथ, क्योंकि डेल्टा इज कंपोज्ड ऑफ टू थिंग्स. वन इज U4 and U7. Are you with me? So we will have to do one more step to get that matrix. Happy? चलो अब आगे चलते हैं. नेक्स्ट क्विकली बताओ. नेक्स्ट लाइन में मुझे ये एलिमेंट्स लिखने हैं, तो क्या लिखने पड़ेंगे? तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल मैं ये एलिमेंट्स लिख देता हूँ. 0.5 0.675 and 0. Are you with me?
Yes.
ये तो एलिमेंट लिख दिए. एंड देन व्हाट एल्स आई नीड टू डू? I need to find out U9 and U9
U9.
intersection. So U9 and U9 intersection. U9 and U9 is the last element. It is
Last.
4 by 3 plus 4 by 1. So it is 2.333. Are you with
Yes.
me? So this is going to be 2.333, and this matches with this. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Then I have to look at the intersection of u4 and u9. So let me have a look at this. u4 and u9 is the last element, so ye wala element, so that has to be equal to this one, so ye 0. Are you with me?
Yes.
So let me write this as 0. Then u7 and u9 ka intersection likhna hai, so let us have a look at this. u7 and u9 is the last, so ye wala element. Are you with me? देखो u9 लास्ट है ना, so u7
Yes,
के
sir.
इसमें लास्ट वाला है, so this is 7th column 9th row element will be equal to 9th column 7th row element. 1 2 3 4 5 अरे सॉरी, ये कितना है u4 6 degrees of freedom है ना, and u7, so fourth we are looking at fourth column 6th row element is same as 6th column 4th row element. 1 2 3 and 4, so it is going to be 2ei by 4. Are you with me?
Yes.
So it is 0.5. okay? यहाँ पे 0.5. so वैसे देखा जाए तो दोनों का सम 0.5 है, and that is going to कुछ गड़बड़ की. We are looking at u4 and u9. चलो, so u4, अच्छा ये एलिमेंट दिख रहा है ना, u4 and u9, इसका लास्ट एलिमेंट वो तो हो गया. Then we were looking at u7 and u9. u7 and u9 is the last element. So we can also look at u9 and u7. So u7 is 1 2 3 4. So 1 2 3 4. हाँ ये है 6/3 square. So it is equal to 0.675. 0.675. And that's what it is. मतलब अगर हम ये सम ले लेते हैं 0 और 0.7 तो ये मैच होने वाला है, but we will not compare it immediately. तो ये हो गया. अब क्या करना है? Now the moment this is done, I am going to write down this as 0 and this as 0.67. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Now we are going to look at u4 and u4. तो u4 and u4 वाला एलिमेंट इसमें देखना है. Another 5 minutes and we will stop. u4 and u4. So u4 is the first one. u4 is the first one. Just give me. So 12/3 cube. Can you tell me how much is 12/3 cube?
0.88.
Nah, that is 24/3 cube. So it is 12/3 cube. We will write it as 12/3 cube itself. Are you with me? 12/3.
0.445.
Yeah. So let it be 12/3 cube. Then we are going to look at u7 and u4. So where is u7 and u4? u7 is here. And where is u4? u7 and u4 is first one. So 0.
0.
So this is going to be 0. है ना?
Yes, sir.
Now we are going to look at u4 and u7.
7.
Just now we saw u7 and u4. So u4 and u7 will also be 0. Are you with me?
Yes.
Then we are looking at u7 and u7.
U7.
What is u7 and u7? u7 is here, 12 ei/3 cube. Do you agree with me? So it is going to be
Yes,
12
sir.
upon 3 cube. Happy?
Yes.
So this is our equation. Now let us put the condition that we already know u4 is equal to u7. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to expand the last two rows. तो last two rows मैंने अगर expand किए तो क्या मिलता है देखो 0.675 u6 plus 0 u9 plus 12 upon 3 cube u4, but u4 is equal to u7. I will call it as delta. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So therefore 12 upon 3 cube into u4, which is equal to delta. Happy? Plus 0 into u7. 0 into u7 plus 0 is equal to 10.
10.
ये एक इक्वेशन मिला हमें. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Now next equation हम क्या करेंगे 0 into u6 happy plus
Yes, sir.
0.675
675
u9
U9
plus 0
0 U4
into delta
delta.
and u7 is also delta. Are you with me?
Yes.
So plus 12 by 3 cube into u7, that is 12 by 3 cube into delta plus 0 is equal to 0. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
अब इन दोनों को हम ऐड करेंगे और एक तीसरा इक्वेशन तैयार करेंगे. इन दोनों को ऐड किया. Hard lunch. We have prayer now. So what we will do is, do you have lecture afterwards?
There is lab practice.
So has the link been shared?
Yes, sir. No, not yet.
Okay. So we will continue for 5 minutes after the prayer.
Yes, sir.
So let's resume. I think you know what I have done. I have added the last two equations to get the one equation. Are you with me, Swapnil?
Yes, sir.
And then if you rearrange this u6 u9 delta u6 u9 delta, you will recover the same equation. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So now here I am going to give you an homework. Homework is you solve this, get the values of u6 u9 delta. In this particular case it is theta b, theta c and delta. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Then here also in this 6 by 6 matrix, do that correction wherever that negative sign was there. ये correction हमने किया था, right? So
Yes,
which sign is not negative? u6. So
yeah, by
third row and third column and first row. So third row and first column, this also will not be negative. Are you with me?
yes, sir.
So with this, then you find out the new values of u4, u5, u6. You will see that those match with the earlier one because the matrices are same. They are ought to match. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So this was all about the assembling stiffness matrices, force matrices, and restraint force matrices. This is also your assignment. So complete these calculations. Also show this solution, traditional stiffness matrix method solution, and show that both the solutions do match. Only difference is in traditional method, first of all, we will only find out displacements. Then to find out fixed end moments, we will have to use slope deflection equations. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
तो वो एंड मोमेंट्स फाइंड आउट करने के लिए फिर से स्लोप डिफ्लेक्शन इक्वेशंस यूज करके उसमें ये वैल्यूज डालनी पड़ेंगी. Those slope deflection equations are automatically here in this particular case. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So that's that's the advantage of finite element method over that. So with this, we close the discussion on assembly of matrices, and in our next interaction, we are going now we have two things to discuss. One is I'm going to solve the entire problem from start to end, invoking all the concepts of Gauss quadrature, everything. हाँ ये start से end एक बार problem solve करेंगे एक, and we need to discuss something called as weighted residual methods. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So with so I need another I need uh, two more lectures of 1.5 hours. So I hope now your term has ended, so you will have free time. I will discuss with you and we will decide the extra lecture slot. Are you with me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So with this, let us stop here. Please put your attendance in chat box and then you can leave.
Yes.